2v8 is back. Yay! In all honesty, I was not planning on talking about this newest 2v8 event, which I think is the 5th one we've had so far, but this new play while you wait feature is pretty cool, and I want to talk about it. In case you haven't seen it, the way it works is you queue up for killer, either solo or with your friend, and this little play while you wait thing pops up, and it lets you play survivor while still being in the killer queue. I think that it's a neat solution. It gets more people into the survivor pool, ideally lowering the queue times for everyone. So, is it doing that? I did a little experiment and compared how long it takes to get into a match if you play versus if you just wait out the queue time. First queue time, I did not do the play while you wait, and I waited for 22 minutes. That is a pretty long time. Second one, I played one survivor game and then waited in the priority queue. And from the time I pressed ready to the time I got into a killer lobby, it took 20 minutes. But I only waited in queue for 8 minutes. Then third time, I played 2 survivor games while waiting for a killer match. And from pressing ready to the time I got into a killer lobby, it took 30 minutes. But I only waited in queue for 2 minutes. I think there's an interesting little system here. They've minimized the amount of time you're waiting in lobby, but if you do want to just play killer, it's still an option. You'll just have to do something else, like put on a video or a podcast. The important thing is that you have an additional option to waiting. You're able to play survivor and get a stupid amount of blood points. Now, obviously, Survivor 2v8 can sometimes leave a little to be desired. Sometimes you'll have people risk it all to save you. And other times you'll have 5 people on hook and 3 people on the same generator. Who do they think is gonna save us? The killers? I really like that I'm spending less time in lobby, and the waiting that I'm doing feels shorter because I'm playing games and getting challenges at the same time as being in a killer queue. Because of the play while you wait feature, you are generally playing more DBD and spending less time in queue times. And more DBD can be great if you're having fun, especially with the survivor side, because you'll be playing about 2 to 3 survivor games for every 1 killer game. I do think that there needs to be more work done to make it a little more interesting. I'd love some more classes and perk combos. Right now, the most I see is Escapist and Medic. I run Medic because I really like healing people quickly. But generally, I don't have that many comments on the balancing of 2v8 because most of my balancing ideas and thoughts and energy, it's all channeled towards the base 1v4 game mode. 2v8 is ridiculous. It's chaotic and fast-paced, and it's clearly hard enough to balance the base game. So I've sort of just accepted that some 2v8 iterations will be killer-sided, and some will be survivor-sided, and I'll just do my best to have fun with either. And I am having fun. This has been my favorite iteration of 2v8 so far. I mean, the glaring issue with the event right now is the twin-shaped hole in my heart, but it's okay. We can't all be perfect.
Mr. Sandman, man me a sand.
I met my new best friend in the whole wide world, who was this random Jill Valentine, and we had a beautiful game together before never seeing each other again. A bunch of sables somehow tamed this Deathslinger and Huntress. I almost entirely uninstalled the game after I accidentally sandbagged my teammate while we were getting chased by different killers from opposite sides of this palette, and it was honestly the most embarrassment I've ever felt in my life. I locked the fuck in for most of my Billy games, and I made a cool montage, so here that is. I got this sable in the last possible second, which was so satisfying. Yippee! I've seen the idea a few times of bringing this feature into the 1v4 mode. I'm not sure how necessary that would be, especially if queue times are under 15 minutes, which is the average length of a trial. But it'd be a cool thing to implement for PTBs, especially because those queue times are usually a nightmare. Obviously, this has been a way more low-key video than my usual emotionally charged stuff, but I like talking about fun, silly things. I can't help it. This feature has been implemented really smoothly, and I'd like to give all the credit to the developers for making that happen. It's awesome. This was the best possible adjustment they could make to address killer queue times, because let's be real, there will always be more people trying to play killer than survivor. I'm looking forward to what comes next with the upcoming PTB. I am not on team burn behavior headquarters to the ground, and I keep on seeing positive changes or good responses to criticism, and I think that sort of transparency is something that we should encourage from the people that are making this constantly changing game. Anyway, that is this week's video. We're keeping it short and sweet. Thank you, Ko-Fi supporters. I love you guys. I'll see y'all next weekend.